All right, well, speaking of hockey, which we weren't speaking about at all,
Not
but
one
let's
bit.
get to it. Let's bring in our good friend, star handicapper, the man, the myth, the legend, the chicken dinner himself, Chip Chirimbes.
Just a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube page and hit the bell if you want notifications every time we post a new video.
All right, well, let's get to it, shall we, Chipper? Because we have quite a few games. This is our rapid fire segment, so let's fire away rapidly, shall we? Let's start with the Blue Jackets, excuse me, at the Flyers. Columbus are 30-30. They're on a 5-game stink-it-up losing streak right now. They're 12-16 on the road. They're 19-9 against the spread. They're still, though, only 6 points behind the leading Capitals in that. What is that one? It's not the Metropolitan, is it? It is, right?
Well,
Anyway, whatever.
regardless.
The Flyers, 32-27. They're 6-3-1 in the last 10, coming off a 5-3 loss to Tampa. They're 19-9 straight up at home. They're 19-9 against the spread. Look, this is what we got. We got a -1.5 puck line for Philly that's paying +170 right now. But the money line on Philly's -140. They're obviously the favorites, and total goals of 5.5. I know a lot of people avoid the total goals with hockey because it gets a little crazy sometimes. What are we doing on this one, Chipper?
You know, this Columbus, like you said, have lost 5 in a row, Nick, and that was after an 18-2-3 run, which is tremendous. What happens to these teams? There's so much ebb and flow. Once they get hot, and they've been hot for a month or 6 weeks, it's hard to sustain that. And then when they finally get beat, and it's sort of like their bubble's been burst, they head in the other direction, and it's hard to stop the slide. Philadelphia's 22-10 at home. This is on the money line, and 12-4 is a favorite when at home. I would take the Flyers over Columbus here, just because of the fact of how Columbus has turned it around, are going actually into this slide right now with the 0-5 streak. So I would fade them completely right now and stick with the Flyers.
Okay, Flyers on the money line. No puck lines, just money line. Right?
No, not at all. No.
All right.
Okay, wait a minute. That was no money line or no puck line?
No, it would be on the money line. No
Okay,
puck
good.
line.
All right. I'll hand you over to Allie now.
Chip doesn't like puck lines. He's told us that.
You're right.
Okay, so we're
Good
going
memory.
to stay in Pennsylvania. I'm going to talk Maple Leafs and the Penguins. Maple Leafs are 31-29. They've got 70 points. They're coming off a loss at Buffalo, 5-2. They give up 3 goals in the third period of that game. Not a good look. They're going to be facing the Penguins. They're 36-21, 78 points for them. They're coming off back-to-back wins at home. They beat the Red Wings 5-1 on Saturday, showing Pitt at -131. What do I do with this one?
Well, it's not a bad number to lay here, and I'll tell you why. Toronto is not only 3, they've only won 3 of the last 11 games when they've been posting as an underdog, but they're in a very bad situation, Allie. This is the 3rd game in 4 nights. This has happened 13 times this year to the Maple Leafs. They're 2-11 in the 3rd game on the 4th night. So I would fade them just because of that. The number looks kind of shallow to me at in the 30s, like you said, but Pittsburgh, the Penguins are 20-7 as a home favorite on the money line. I would lay Pittsburgh here.
All right, lay Pittsburgh. Okay, Nick, what do you got?
I got the New Jersey Devils, the St. Louis Blues. The Devils 22-37. They're 5-5 in the last 10, coming off a 4-3 win over Columbus. They're 12-16 straight up and against the spread on the road. They're 0-10 though in the last 10 versus the Blues, and the Blues are 32-27. They're 2-8 in the last 10. Ouch, on a 5-game loser right now. Smelling pretty bad there in St. Louis. 18-11 straight up, 12-17 against the spread at home. Still got a decent home record. They're only 1-4 straight up the last 5 at home, though. It's continuing the stink fest there. Yet, they are -215 on the money line. And I won't even mention the puck line because Chicken Dinner doesn't like it.
Well, the money line's huge here. And with New Jersey only winning 2 of the last 17 times that they've played this team. But St. Louis, a year ago, December, they had the worst record in the NHL. They turned it around the whole second part of last season and ran it into the Stanley Cup and has had a great start this year and playing great hockey. Maybe the worm has turned here. Maybe they're looking ready to fade a little bit. As I said, they've won 1 of the last 8 games outright. But they're 10-1 as favorites in this series. So it's tough for me to take New Jersey because I don't think they have a chance. And I certainly don't want to lay to St. Louis the way they've been playing. I mean, they can't get out of their own way, and they're 2-1 favorites here. I just couldn't make a play here in rationale. I think that no matter which side I'd come to, I'd end up being a loser.
All right, so Chip Chirimbes says Devils or Blues. Take a pass. What's next, Allie?
All right, I got Carolina and Nashville. Now, This home team has been beating up on the Blues. They just swept their series with those those defending champions. Predators are 29-29 with 65 points. They have won 3 in a row. Coming off the 2-1 win against the Blues I was talking about, they're going to be hosting Carolina Hurricanes. They're 33-25 with 70 points, coming off a 4-3 home loss to the Edmonton Oilers. That was an overtime loss. I'm showing the home team, Nashville, at -120. What do we think about that number?
Well, I think the number's very shallow, Allie. At 120 is virtually a pick'em situation. I am not all that impressed with Nashville at all. You can say Carolina's 2-6 in their last 8 straight up on the road, but they have won 6 of the last 7 meetings against this club. Nashville, as in the last 4 meetings, the underdog in the last 4 meetings is 4-0. But Nashville also is the same kind of position that Toronto's in, where we were speaking about playing their 3rd game in their 4th day, and they are 3-8 in that situation. So in the NHL, that looks like a trend right now that's pretty reliable. When you have these teams going out and playing 3 games in 4 days, that 4th night, that 3rd game, they really tend to struggle. So I would play against Nashville here and take a shot with the road team.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. A whole lot of sense.
And you know what they say, Chip? Going to Carolina in the morning. Okay.
Yes.
Next up, the LA Kings at the Winnipeg Jets. The Kings, 21-38. They're 3-7 in the last 10. But wait a minute, not all bad. There's a 2-game winning streak going on under the radar here. They're coming off a 3-1 road win at Colorado. They're 9-25, though, straight up. 19-15 against the spread when on the road. Not so good. The Jets, 30-30. They're 5-5 in the last 10, coming off a win against the Blackhawks. They're 3-2. They're 15-17 straight up at home, by the way. They don't have the greatest home record. 14-18 against the spread. 5-11 straight up in the last 16 at home. So this is actually a fascinating matchup. And I'm looking at this Winnipeg -149 on the money line. I don't know, Chipper. What are we going on this one?
Well, you can't take the LA Kings. They're absolutely horrid, and they've been horrid for a period of time. They've only won 16 of their last 65 games on the road. I mean, that's absolutely putrid. And like you said earlier, 9-23 on the season, 2-8 in their last 10 games outright. But Winnipeg is 10-4 against LA, and when they're at home, fine. But overall, you mentioned it, 5-11 at home overall. Maybe they can beat this team. The home team in the series is 19-9, so I would lay the home team in this situation, and it's virtually impossible to take the Kings on the road the way they play, and they're like the Cleveland Browns out there. You're just never going to get anything good out of them in the long run, and you're always better off fading them than taking them. So I would take Winnipeg at home. They've won a few times for us this year, and only at home though. I must say that I played against them on the road, but I would play them here over the Kings.
Boy, I tell you what, I was a LA Kings fan for many years, Chip Chirimbes, and
but they played during the Gretzky era. Hockey in the past.
But there during the Gretzky era, when Bruce McNull, the owner of the Kings, who was a guy I knew actually, went to jail though. Hi, Bruce. Don't pick up the soap in the shower. Okay, all right, we got to go to break. Chip Chirimbes. What, you have something else?
I was just going to say, speaking, because it's International Wine Day, today is that. Wayne Gretzky makes a fantastic wine. I don't know if you've tried it, but go out there and get you some Gretzky wine, because it ain't bad stuff.
If you drink the wine, you become an uncontrollable sports bettor. Okay.
I would have brought a bottle to the studio if I had known that was happening.